And welcome back. Let's take a look now at our question of the day. And this morning we're asking you, what are your views on the revelations about the State Security Agency at the Zondo Commission? And of course, yesterday the acting DG in that department testifying before the commission, and some very startling revelations coming through. But the previous day as well with Dr. Sydney Mufamadi, who was heading up a high-level panel. So what are your views on what you've heard thus far?
Well, I can tell you one view already that's come through. Nterara saying, prefer it if you called it information rather than revelations. It'll only be revelations when it has been properly interrogated and engaged. My misgiving with some of it is that it is only based on suspicions and untested rumors as well as hearsay. So that is how we start the comments section.
Yeah.
It is going to be very interesting to see what you've had to say. Well, listen, these last 2 days have been exceptionally interesting to listen to watch and see what's going on. So continuing today, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's see what you've had to say. So that's our comments we're going to be looking forward to, and that's the question of the day. Right, let's go on to trending topics.
Wow.
Where do you begin
First
here?
up.
This is a long story.
It's a very
Grab
long
your
story,
cup of
which we
coffee.
shall endeavor to bring to you as succinctly as we can.
Get a cup of coffee or tea, or in fact, get green tea, because this one is...
And biscuits to go.
Yeah, it'll get your temperature going.
So hashtag Dr. Dlamini must fall. Let me just look at all the other hashtags under which this is trending. It also says hashtag Dr. Dlamini, hashtag Dr. Death, hashtag AFDA even came into it, hashtag Mihlali, hashtag Mari Stopes, hashtag Andile, hashtag Somizi, hashtag LGBTQ, and it just goes on.
Yeah, the list goes on and on and on.
Here's the story. And I don't quite know where it started, but
I know where it started.
Okay, so you start where you think you know where it started. I'll pick it up from this particular point.
I'm piecing puzzles together. So if we can go back, Lebo, there's another screenshot that we've got from Old Mutual. Do we have that one? The one, okay. Well, there was a statement put out from Old Mutual. So this happened early on in the day, okay. And what had happened is there was a podcast, and I am guessing because this went out of control. I must say I wasn't on social media last night for my own sanity. So what happened was there was a podcast with Mac G and media personality MacGyver Mokwebo, known as Mac G, lost his main sponsor of his YouTube series podcast following the latest episode, which was slammed by the LGBTQI community for hateful, transphobic comments. So in this particular episode, which I actually listened to, and it really, not very nicely put by them, I must say. It was called Podcast and Chill with Mac G, Mokwebo, and Sol Penduka. They're discussing public figures that allegedly dated trans women. And Penduka then uses derogatory terms like, I'm not even going to say the derogatory terms, if you don't mind, I'm not going to go there. But they both were laughing about it quite a lot. And they kept on, talking about this conversation. And the Old Mutual as a sponsor basically pulled, here we go, that's that statement, saying Old Mutual has seen the discussion that took place on Mac G's podcast. As a responsible business that fully respects the rights of everyone, we've decided to terminate the relationship with Mac G with immediate effect. We distance ourselves from the harmful commentary against the LGBTQI community and humanity at large. It goes on to say what it is: ignorant, insensitive, the conversation clearly showing that much education needs to happen. I suspect this is where it all started, because I already saw it bubbling in the morning, and then I didn't follow up. Then you jumped on later.
Well, this is where I
happened.
picked it up.
Okay.
So the whole hashtag Dr. Dlamini must fall. So this is the profile of Dr. Dlamini on Twitter. Executive medical doctor, sexual and reproductive health consultant, speaker, activist, and all of that.
It's been deleted since.
It's been deleted. So
may I just add?
One thing we've learned is that once someone says something controversial, you must quickly screen grab it, because chances are they are going to delete it. So here was the tweet. Dr. Dlamini then says, I've told you the story of how I got someone blacklisted from ever registering at any university in South Africa until he killed himself. all because he wrote a homophobic Facebook status, and I do it all over again without even flinching. And you don't get to make my existence a living hell and expect me to be civil. You will die. And this then sparked a whole conversation. People were then saying, this is wrong, and some even went as far as to write to Mary Stopes, complaining about his conduct. And someone actually posted a letter that an email that they had then sent to Mary Stopes, where Dr. Dlamini allegedly works. And then Andile Ncube also got in and opined on this particular matter. And that then grew tentacles all of its own, with people then later coming in and saying, well, how about we talk about your private life, Andile, and how you've been on the down low, basically what people are saying, and all sorts of revelations flying all over Twitter. And then it was us against them against, he said, she said. It's just terrible.
It's a mess.
And it's all sorts of hashtags flying around, all about the same story.
My gosh. And I see a statement jumping up now on the feed, and this is from the 13th of July 2020. I think this has been done before. It's not the first time that this doctor has come through and done what he has done. Couldn't cupcake take away gay rights. Apparently that is something he has tweeted before as well. And says the above tweet refers, it has been brought to my attention that a tweet I sent out last night has not sat well with many people, understandably so. It should, however, be understood that it was meant to be humorous, a common joke amongst many circles of my friends on Twitter, and on it goes. So this is not the first time that this has obviously happened, but it now has really gone to a level that it is now taking over social media.
It is all the talk. It's on South African Twitter.
It is insensitive. Keep your thoughts to yourself. If that's the way you think, just keep it to yourself, and stop trying to bring other people down with you. And this is a very big problem. This is that old one I was talking to. It was this is obviously, again, not the first time. He apologized for that one, but then comes back and does it again. So we really have to be careful what goes on out there.
Lots going on there. And then the other thing was football, and hashtag Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku plays for Inter Milan these days, so it was the Milan derby, Inter against AC Milan at the San Siro in the Coppa Italia quarterfinal. So these two used to be teammates at Man United. And as you can see, literally butting heads, and it got absolutely heated and out of hand. And apparently Zlatan, who's known for, being very brash and, teasing people and just stirring the pot, Zlatan apparently said something about Lukaku's mother. Lukaku lost it.
Oh my gosh.
This went on, and apparently Zlatan invited him to the tunnel, and Lukaku at halftime still hadn't cooled down. Zlatan later got sent off. He had got a red card because the first yellow was for this altercation, and then the second one was for a clumsy challenge. He was sent off, and then there was a penalty, and people are saying that's the angriest penalty ever taken, because it was like Lukaku saw Zlatan's head on that ball, the way he slammed that particular ball and that penalty. So Lukaku's trending, Zlatan is trending. It's that sort of morning.
It's a mess on Twitter streets this morning. It really is. All right, okay, let's leave it there for now and wrap up the trending section for you. We're going to take a break on the program. We'll be back with you after this. Stay tuned.